Hello and welcome to the Great CEO Podcast. I'm Pam Singleton and I'm here with another great CEO, Chris Rack, CEO of MRP. Welcome, Chris, and thank you for being here. Now, in a few sentences, tell us what MRP does.
Awesome. MRP is a leader in the demand generation space. So we connect B2B marketers with account intelligence, which helps them prioritize their budgets and their resources on accounts that have the highest propensity to engage with their marketing solutions, especially in 2023, right? Budgets and resources are tight. So we find that connecting our buyers with the companies that are looking to engage the most is really driving, results long-term for them.
Oh, absolutely. It's a big market with people who promise to do that. Plenty of competition. What differentiates MRP?
So the key differentiator for us is what we call deterministic signals, right? As you mentioned, it is a big market. There's a lot of companies who claim they do that, right? And most of those companies are fueled by assumptive triggers in the market. Somebody went to a website, somebody read a piece of content, somebody did something. And if you add those assumptions up, it's almost like a circumstantial case in a court of law, right? Like X plus Y should probably equal Z. We look at deterministic signals, and those are us asking the market, what are you looking to buy, right? We engage with B2B decision makers about 20 million times a year via phone, email, and direct mail, and we ask them, what are you looking to buy? We categorize those answers, and we focus our energy on those answers there. So again, not assumptive, but really deterministic signals that drive the propensity that we work with.
So you're actually talking to the customers, the potential buyers, and rather than using what the salesperson, its perception of what the customer is thinking, you're actually using real data.
Correct. Yeah, it's not easy to compile, right? It has some costs associated with it, but we've been doing this a very, very long time, and we've been able to, really maximize every call, every email, every direct mail we send to get the most value out of it, which allows us to push that data over across to our customers as well.
Okay, fair enough. How long have you been around?
MRP is a 18-year-old company that's seen many, many different faces over the years, right? But I've been here for 3 months, so it's a fairly new initiative for me.
All right. So, what percentage of MRP's revenue recurs? Is it?
So we work in an interesting space. Unlike most SaaS companies, I'm a solutions and technology player. So my revenue recurs every 3 months, right? As most, demand and, media spenders buy and reevaluate their programs and their tactics every 3 to 6 months. So I'm responsible, and our team's responsible for winning our clients every 3 months over and over and over again, right? So on average, we see, if you were to look at it from an annual perspective, how many customers who buy once buy again within a 12-month span, it's about 78%.
78% repeat buyers. That's terrific.
And again, they might buy in March and then come back in the following March, or they might buy in March and then come back in June and October and then take a break. So there's many peaks and valleys in the more of a transactional cycle, but again, it's about 78% come back within a 12-month span.
Customers appreciate what you do for them, so that's terrific. Now, every business has some sort of constraint, something that if you could change, some internal constraint. So if you could change anything, it would make it a better business. You have a great business, but what's that one thing you might be able to change to make it even better?
Candidly, I wish I could have a whole office full of people again, full time, right? Like I miss the days of that, right? We have a really great office in Philadelphia. I get about 120, 130 employees there, about 3 to 4 days a week, right? And the energy that I have when I'm in the office with all of those people is like 10x when I'm at home, right? And in my previous career, I was remote before it was cool to be remote. I worked remote for 9 years, from like 2011 to 2020 almost, and it can be just mentally draining. So I just, part of me wishes the world would catch back up, especially the next generation who kind of came up, right, remote, and understand that like the value of being in the office is not a productivity one, right? No. It's not the executive team saying, we don't trust you to do your job. It's really one of culture and growth and all of that part of it. And it's just so hard to do remote or
Yeah.
hybrid.
You really lose a lot in personal interaction and what they always like to say, the collisions between people that spark new ideas. So,
I mean, that's really it. I mean, I believe in PLG, right? And not product-led growth, but I believe in people-led growth, right? And people need that spark of other humans to kind of, and again, everybody does just a lot better when you have something to believe in, right? Whether it's a vision, whether it's a cause, whether it's whatnot, and creating that and getting people to see that vision when you can't engage with them directly is just significantly harder. It can be done, right? But doing it virtually via Zooms versus, in person, like, again, it's just significantly more challenging.
Takes a toll too. So let's focus on you for a few minutes as CEO. How many hours a week? You've been in the position 3 months. How many hours a week are you working, and where do you spend your time?
Okay, I mean, it's probably bad, but I'm probably about a 70 to 80 hour a week guy. If you include my travel, because I split time between Chicago and Philadelphia, it's probably more, right? But so like that being said, I've made a significant change in myself over the past like year and a half, 2 years, as I've dedicated more time to myself, like my health, my mental and physical health, because I found that the hours I was putting into work were taking away from me physically and mentally, which were hurting me long term. So like I'm an early riser, like from 5 a.m. to 7 is my time. I walk. I usually do a workout. I'll listen to an audiobook, or I'll read, or I'll drink coffee quietly by myself. Right. I have 4 kids too. So, it's like, that's where I spend a lot of my time in the mornings, my time. And then I'm an in the trenches CEO, right? I do a lot of things, like really, I'm on client calls a ton. I love engaging with the customers directly, both asking them how we're doing and also trying to sell them on new solutions that I'm passionate about. I'm really, really in close with our customer experience and marketing organizations as well, kind of rebuilding our brand and how the world perceives us. And kind of, I believe that like every company has a personality, right? And what is ours? So that's where I spend most of my time. I spend the least amount of my time in finance and reports and that side of the fence, right? I have a great CFO who's ridiculously good at his job. I trust him to help, to work and really kind of like guide us in those directions, right? And I focus on the more in the trenches side of the business.
All right, well, fair enough. What 1 or 2 things describe you as a leader?
I guess the first would be transparent. I'm fairly open, right? People always say like my door is always open, and then you sit down in their office and they just tell you the same thing they tell everybody else, which is like a cookie cutter, right? Like I believe passionately in Kim Scott's radical candor, right? And that means having difficult conversations, but doing it with empathy and true caring for the people around them. So I'm a big proponent of that, and being as transparent as I can in my role to every employee, whether you just started or whether you're one of our senior executives. To me, there's no difference between the people in my executive room and the folks who are making outbound calls trying to close business for us. And the second, I think, would be unique, right? I mean, I've reached the point of my career where I kind of stopped trying to conform to what people think something is, right? Like if you stacked me up against other CEOs, I'd probably look different, sound different, talk different, but I think that's kind of to my advantage, right? And it allows me to kind of stand out from the crowd a bit and just kind of connect with my people a little bit more.
You've grown into your own skin, right?
Takes a long time.
It does take a long time, but when you do it, it's liberating. Last question. What do you do for fun?
I'm pretty dorky. So I do a lot of dorky things for fun, self-proclaimed. So I play a lot of chess online, right? I'm a speed chess player. So like instead I've tried to take my mind away from like scrolling through social media endlessly. And although I do love TikTok, but I've tried to focus my brain on things that like can make my brain work better. I collect Legos. I have a fairly extensive Lego collection. I don't build them. I just keep them in boxes. So I probably have maybe 500 sets.
Okay.
And then I also get tattooed. That's my other passion as well too. So
okay. Well, I can't see any because you're wearing white, but all right. All right. So you're expressing yourself through art.
Yes, I do. I have most of my arms, my left leg, most of my chest working. I'll start working on my back soon. It's kind of my piece, if you will.
All right. Well, very good. Chris, this was awesome. Thank you. Great interview. I appreciate you joining us, and we wish you tremendous luck going forward. Thanks.
Thanks, Pam. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
You bet.